Hey guys, what is going on? Brian Lapine here, and this is another episode of Fix Your Form. Today we're working out of the personal training studio here at Fitness Fusion. There is a couple of people in the main facility, so social distancing. So that's why this room might look a little bit different today. Today we're going to cover the dumbbell bench press for you. Very popular exercise. One of the most important, I think, that people learn. One of the first ones they learn, and you'll use it forever. So it's a really, really good one to cover early on in this channel. The exercise itself is going to target your chest mainly. You're also going to use your shoulders and your triceps as well. I'm going to first give you a quick visual overview of the exercise. So I got my dumbbells here, and also notice how I start with the weights. This is a tricky point for some people. They don't know how to kick the weights up to themselves. So I put them on my thighs towards the knees, and if it's not too heavy, I can go 2 at a time like so and kick them up. Or once they get heavier, it gets harder to do 2 at a time, so I'm going to do 1 at a time. I'm going to kick 1 up and then come back with the other. And so here's your visual overview of the dumbbell chest press. And let's go over some ways that people get it wrong. So one of the first ones is the elbow positioning. And if you haven't seen the push-up video, go back and watch that. Your range of motion and the positioning of your elbows and wrists relative to your body is pretty much exactly the same as your push-up, except you're upside down. So instead of pushing the floor away from you, you're pushing the dumbbells to the ceiling, right? So you don't want your elbows too high because your shoulders will be doing all the work and you're scrunching. You don't want them too close. This is a neutral grip or a close grip chest press, which is going to work more your triceps. So for a regular chest press position, you want an angled elbow, all right? Angled slightly to your side, okay? Next point that people get wrong a lot is that they lock out at the top. So if I do a chest press and I lock out all the way, my joints get to stack one on top of the other. So if my joints are stacked, wrist over elbow, elbow over shoulder, this is technically a rest position, right? And the chest is no longer engaged. So what I want you to do is to keep your elbows a little bit bent. And I won't show you with the dumbbells every time, but you get the idea. So when I press, I keep my elbows a little bit bent at the top, all right? And what that's going to do is help to keep my muscles engaged. So I'm trying to work my chest and triceps. That's going to keep those muscles engaged. Next point is that the extension, and this one I'm going to show you from a couple different angles, the extension goes too far, and it's not the same as locking out the elbow. So let me try to show you from the bench first. So if I press, I want to stop right about here. My shoulder blades are going to be retracted onto this bench. What you'll see though is people extending too far, and it's going to go, look at all that extra range I can get, right? So I want to stop here, but people go way up there, and that's all shoulders, okay? So to keep it in the chest, retract those shoulder blades, extend to almost a full extension, and don't overextend on the way up, because that's not doing anything for your chest, all right? That's only in the shoulders. So on that point, I'm going to show you from the back here. I want my shoulder blades to be squeezed, retracted onto the bench. All right, and you keep them retracted while you do your chest press. And that's going to make your chest do most of the work. Sometimes you'll see people with weights that are too heavy. So the next big one that you'll want to avoid is to lift your butt. When you come down, you have to really fight. People go, and they try to get some momentum. I guess it just comes naturally. You're pushing through your feet, which is good, but you don't want to push too much through your feet to lift your butt off the bench. So make sure you're tailbone, your butt stays down, and your shoulders stay down. If you're arching your back, your low back, that's perfectly fine on the chest press. You can feel free to do that, but do not lift your butt off the bench, okay? Another big one is your range of motion. So you wanna make sure you get a full range of motion, especially in the down position, right? So if you stop here before your elbows hit the midline of your body, not nearly enough range of motion. I want you to come down, elbows past the midline, and then extend up all the way. All right, and then the last one is just similar along the same lines, but it's just too fast. So if you're just trying to do pump reps, it's not really doing much for you in terms of strength. So slow it down, control it, full range of motion. And through this, I've been kind of talking to the camera. I've had my head up, but you do want to have your head down, okay? So when you're doing your chest press, your head wants to stay on the pad as well. All right, so let's go over a couple cues I like to tell people when they're doing their chest press. Angle your elbows, right? Don't keep them too high. You're gonna do all shoulders. So angle back, full range of motion, always remember. I'll tell you that one at pretty much every exercise. Full range of motion is key. Shoulder blade retraction on the bench. Keep your butt down and engage your chest at the top, which goes back to the one about not locking out your elbows, right? So keep your chest engaged by extending almost all the way, and then visualize a little bit of inward intention. So meaning coming inward at the top. And one thing that somebody once told me, which helps me visualize it, is to crush your armpit. So if you visualize your arm coming in and then crush your armpit, pretend there's like an egg or something right here, and you try to crack it open. So crush the armpit, and it's really gonna help you engage your pecs at the top every time, all right? And you'll probably feel it immediately when you start to focus on that. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have questions on the bench press, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you like this video. It certainly helps out the channel. And subscribe if you want to catch more exercise tutorials. All right, catch you guys next time.